Hey everybody, welcome back to another manga show here on Omnibros Live on the Omnibus Collectors Network. It's your boy Yugioh here, still petitioning for an Inhumans Omnibus. It's getting darker by the minute, but we're hanging in there. And I am joined by the always awesome Omnibus Collector. Riley, how you doing, brother?
Tired, but I'm here, and we're
For a good cause.
we're gonna have a good time tonight.
Let's put on some music like last time because you guys liked it in the chat. So let's vibe a little, right? Talk about some manga, answer some Q&A, and go over some topics. It's been a while. We haven't done a show in 2 weeks.
Yeah, we're supposed to. Last week we forfeited the Thursday night so that Lou and I could review Thor on Friday night, but we were waiting for Omar's stream to be done out of respect.
Bad idea.
And we went for like 2.5 hours. He and sorry, what's his cousin's name?
Amanda.
Yeah, he and Amanda. Completely blanking. I felt bad. I was about to say his wife. We went for so long, and then by the time they were done, I was like, all right, let's go. And I didn't have the password to get StreamYard started. So Lou was like,
Yeah. I talked to Lou about that, and we're gonna figure something out to make a cool Friday show, something a little bit different. Lou gave his thoughts yesterday of Thor, but we'll figure something out and do maybe like a Thor related video or something. We owe you guys an extra episode. You'll see that soon, if not probably next week. I'll figure something out. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you to the chat. You guys are active. That's always great. Started a little bit late. Some conversations in the green room, but we're here nonetheless. Jesse Say What, thank you for being first, and thank you for always tuning in. Same with everybody else. The Collector, James, Tasty Melon. Everybody's here. All the chat regulars. Love you guys so much. I forgot. You got Warren, Ice, Carly. Thank you so much. James, it's time to duel. That's right. We're going to cover some topics that we missed since the last manga episode. Some not so happy news. Other cool stuff, I should say. But first, let me remind every one of you that this show is sponsored by the folks at InStockTrades.com, your home for all things collected editions. You get your omnibus, trade paperbacks, hardcovers, and manga, and many more, up to 50% off, weekly deals, all that fun stuff. If you order on a week-by-week basis, you get an extra 2% of that. Fantastic customer service and wonderful packaging. That's InStockTrades.com, the official sponsor of Omnibros Live here on the Omnibus Collectors Network. And they do have the special sale going on, right?
yep. Summer Sizzle. If you put Summer Sizzle, yep. You got that extra code, so it's a 3% discount. I think it's 3% instead of the 2%, so you get an extra 1% over the loyalty.
Let me fix that real quick, just in case. 3% off. There we go. Perfect. So use that in the checkout. Buy all the cool manga, buy all the cool books, and use that code to save a little bit extra on top of all the awesome savings at InStock Trades. So shout out to IST for always sponsoring Omnibros here on the Omnibus Collectors Network. And that is very important. Jesse Say What? Everybody, if you would be so kind, hit the like button. Pushes up the stats on the channel so it reaches out to new people out there. All that fun stuff.
I wish it was a shaka button. That would...
Yeah. Before we get started with the main topic, I do have one bit of news that I wanted to bring to the table because it's been a while. We have the MPD book scan list of the top 20 adult graphic novels for June 2022. And surprise, surprise, it's a bunch of manga. Literally, the top 20, it's all manga. It's insane. Let me share the screen here. We're going to go back to ICV2, or however you spell that. There we go. Let me zoom in because you can't see anything. Okay. So here is the list
Yeah, and these all make sense.
Coming in at number 20, you got Jujutsu Kaisen Volume 2. Number 19, My Hero Academia Volume 1. And number 18, Deadpool Samurai Volume 2. That's surprising. Although not really. Spy Family Volume 5. Demon Slayer Volume 2. Death Note Short Stories. Chainsaw Man Volume 10. Jujutsu Kaisen Volume 1. Toilet Bound Hanako-kun, still at it. Volume 1. Spy Family Volume 6, 7, 4, 3. Then you got Jujutsu Kaisen Volume 0. Then you got Spy Family Volume 2. Then the only Kodansha book here, Wotakoi Love is Hard for Otaku Volume 6. Then Demon Slayer Volume 1. Then Jujutsu Kaisen Volume 16. Spy Family Volume number 1. And at the top for June, we got the final volume of Part 1 of Chainsaw Man with Volume 11.
So yeah, it all makes sense. Like Chainsaw Man, the first part was ending in physical editions. Part 2 just started this week. The anime is still upcoming. Spy Family, that first season, just recently wrapped up, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And then the others, JJK and Demon Slayer are ultimately just super popular. Final volume of Wotakoi. And then what else? Toilet Bound Hanako-kun got one volume in there. That series, I think that probably has something to do with the fact that Target sells that series and a lot of these. But like every time I go to Target, there are tons of copies of Hanako-kun Volume 1.
Wow.
So I think that adds to it. That adds to how many were sold in general.
Cleveland Brown is asking, is this chart manga only? Where are the DC and Marvel books? This is all adult graphic novels. It's everything.
They just didn't chart as high.
Yeah. So they're on there, probably in the 40 to 60 range. Or 60 to 40, whatever. You guys know what I mean. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Lots of Viz Media owning everything. Soul Yen Press and a Soul Kodansha book. Pretty cool.
So it's good, yeah. A lot. That's comment that I made about Target. That is going to be one reason why, like, certain places like Target, Walmart carry manga, but they don't carry graphic novels. Like, you're not going to find the Batman, Wonder Woman, Superman type of stuff at a Target, and I can say that confidently because I've been to Target about 50 times in the past 2 months, just out of for fun and boredom.
Yeah.
And like every single time I see a manga section, but the only comic related stuff would be if they have like, a Funko Pop book with a Marvel character. So it's not a graphic novel that you would buy on IST, is what I'm saying.
I'm looking to see if I can find the full list. I'm just interested to see what else is in there. Book for past books. Yeah, no, that's not it. Top 20 graphic novel actual sales. What is this? Oh, well, I'll look later because I ain't got time to look.
Yeah, I know. Like, comics have been, while they're not like, a lot of manga people like to act as if comics are just selling piss poor because they don't sell as much as the manga does. But it's not that. It's just the manga is all manga is selling incredibly well in comparison. And like the comics are having every year, like Marvel and DC have better and better years the past several years, constantly going up and up and up. It's just not as much as what you see on the other side.
Yeah.
So, it's not that comics are doing poorly. It's just you have one that's literally in its heyday at this moment, and then the other is doing really well. But what's good for one is good for the whole industry. Like there's no reason to be upset if one is doing really well and the other's doing well. So,
yeah.
What up?
No, I found the chart. Sorry.
Oh yeah, what do we got?
Found the top 20 graphic novels by units and the top 20 graphic novels by dollars. Let me share that real quick. just so people are informed of all the fun stuff happening. Let me share the screen again. I have way too many tabs open. Give me a second, guys. Okay, pause that one. Okay, there we go. Share the screen. There we go. Okay, so this one here says the top 20 graphic novels by dollars, June 2022. Just in case you were wondering about comics. Daredevil, Brubaker Omnibus, House of Slaughter, Maze Books, Static Season 1, Thor by Jason Aaron, Omnibus Volume 1, Murder Falcon Deluxe Edition Hardcover, Berserk Deluxe Edition Hardcover, Superman Son of Kal-El Volume 1, The Truth, Demon Days Treasury Edition, that's awesome. Mouse Complete Collection, Question by O'Neill Omnibus Volume 1, Something is Killing the Children Volume 1, The Boys Omnibus Volume 1, Catwoman of East End Omnibus, Death and Return of Superman 2022 edition, Last Ronin hardcover, Sandman Volume 1, Clementine Book 1, Moon Knight, Lemire Smallwood Complete Collection, and Bone, the Passageway hardcover Mythos, whatever, from Image. And over here, real quick, top graphic novels by units. Units sold. Many Deaths of Layla Starr, Something is Killing the Children, Volume 4, 2, Miss Marvel Volume 1, Deadly Class Volume 11, Deadpool Samurai 2, Saga Volume 1, Sailor Moon, the Naoko Takeuchi Collection Volume 1, The Boys Omnibus Volume 1, Nice House on the Lake Volume 1, Department of Truth, Superman Son of Kal-El, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Last Ronin, Sandman, Demon Slayer Volume 1, Moon Knight Complete Collection, House of Slaughter Volume 1, Something is Killing the Children Volume 1, Clementine Book 1, and Bone Orchard, The Passageway again, hardcover. There you go. That was units and dollars.
What was the first list measured by? What was the metric?
The first one was... Shoot, I closed it. The top 20 adult graphic novels. So graphic novels, and then they do a list of graphic novels by dollars and graphic novels by units.
All right. Okay.
So no more top 20.
the topic. So we would have talked about last week. We hadn't fumbled in trying to do the Thor show, but last week, of course, the hugely unfortunate news of the untimely passing of Kazuki Takahashi, the creator of the Yu-Gi-Oh series. He passed very unexpectedly from a snorkeling accident, I believe is what it was. His body was found washed up near the shore of Okinawa. They did do an autopsy and found he was in like snorkeling gear and whatever, or diving gear. I don't remember what exactly it was, but they did an autopsy, saw that it was drowning. So it was very unfortunate, very untimely, and it's a huge loss for the entire community, the manga industry in general. Just so much that Takahashi had brought to not just like manga and anime, but to just this world in general, because the Yu-Gi-Oh franchise, when you consider stuff like, you know, like the cards themselves, like go so far beyond just the people who enjoy the manga and the people who enjoy the anime series and all the various spin-offs that he wasn't directly involved in writing and stuff like that. So it's something that has had a huge piece and a huge part in so many people's lives that are tangentially part of the manga and anime community. So it was a huge loss. It was absolutely just ripples sent throughout the entirety of the community. And it was really touching and heartwarming to see people coming out and like sharing their experiences and stuff like that. And one thing that I had stated, I made a quick video on TikTok to express myself and say, like, even if you didn't watch the anime and even if you didn't read the manga, like something of Yu-Gi-Oh probably played a part in your life if you grew up as like a, you know, as a weeb, as an otaku in the late 90s, early 2000s in the US in particular. Even if it was from watching like Yu-Gi-Oh! The Abridged series or something like, Little Karibo's parody on the series, it is also, I count that as a way to get into Yu-Gi-Oh! Just as well as reading it or watching the actual anime. Like, it impacted so many people, and I saw so many people coming out and talking about how like the Yu-Gi-Oh! Card game helped them to connect with others at a time when they were, very much alone and very much without friends and without people to go to. And this card game, this silly card game with magic and monsters and stuff like that, helped people to make connections that were meaningful and stuff like that kind of thing.
True.
Not only that, but Takahashi was such a positive person, and the whole like his message in the series was very wholesome, just about friendship and connections and all of that. And people look at the the friendship tropes in manga as something that's silly or laughable, but I've always loved it. I've always loved the power of friendship helping to pull you through and stuff like that, because I really feel stronger when I have the support of my friends. So it's always meant something to me. So where were you, mentally, how did you feel when you saw that he had passed?
It's always a shock. And what's worse is that it's an accident.
Yeah.
And that always takes you by surprise. You never want to see that. And it's so young, too, to go out like that. 60 years old.
60.
So much ahead of him. And I'm pretty sure he was doing something that he was passionate about, snorkeling and all that stuff. It sucks that he couldn't have somebody with him what was it called?
Spot him.
To spot him.
Yeah.
So who knows what actually transpired. I don't have a lot of knowledge when it comes to the manga. I grew up with Yu-Gi-Oh! Because of the show, the anime, and I really enjoyed it back in the day. And I remember getting the cards. Actually, no, a friend of mine, he wanted somebody to play Yu-Gi-Oh! With, and he was so obsessed about it that he went ahead and bought me a starter deck or whatever and gifted the deck to me so we could play on lunch breaks at school.
That's like what happened with me too.
Yeah.
That's funny.
So that was my first experience with the show and the cards. And then eventually I learned about, it's based on a manga and looked into that. Also, he worked in animation as well, which is great to see. You don't really get to see that often with manga creators.
Yeah, I think he particularly animated a scene from the newer movie. Was it the Dark Dimension or whatever? That
I think so. Yeah.
It was a specific scene. I saw people passing it around recently where Yugi like has his dual disc unfold, and it's just really intricately done and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's really cool to see that. Yeah, it was a real, like, it was the first thing that I woke up to that morning. I literally, like, I woke up, I grabbed my phone, and I saw, like, you've been tagged in a tweet, and it just said, Kazuki Takahashi found dead at 60. And I just immediately was like, what the fuck? Like, what is going on?
Yeah.
And, like, it's like a punch to the gut. And especially, like, because like I said, I had a similar thing. My introduction to the series was one of my best friends was really into it, and one year it was his birthday, and like his mom bought all of us like one of the tins or whatever of the cards.
Yeah.
And so each of us, she got every, like, there was like 4 of us or something, 4 or 5 of us, and she gave each of us, as our party favor for his birthday, the tins. And so we slept over at his house, and we're up, like, playing Yu-Gi-Oh, trading cards, all that kind of stuff all night, learning how to play the game. And it was my first introduction. Like, I think I'd probably seen like commercials for it on TV, but never really invested into it. And I thought it was so cool, these like really interesting monsters and stuff like that. And then I started catching it here and there when it was on TV, airing on I believe it was on Fox. Is that right? Or was
Fox
it
Kids.
WB?
Yeah.
Or was it WB?
No, wait.
Was it WB?
WB. Yeah, Warner Brothers.
Okay, so it was on WB, and we had the 4Kids dub, which, like, in retrospect, the 4Kids dub is not great as you'd expect from 4Kids, but it gave us so much that's like ingrained into Yu-Gi-Oh culture, as far as the series goes in the US at this point. To the like, and it's so funny. Like you have that impression, like everyone has that impression of what the series is, and a lot of it comes from that. And then, like I mentioned before, you have Little Karibo's Yu-Gi-Oh! The Abridged series, which largely takes from the 4Kids dub and kind of makes fun of what the 4Kids dub was doing.
Mm-hmm.
But it does so in a place that, like, very obviously is with love. Like, Little Karibo obviously loves Yu-Gi-Oh! And he came out and talked about it after Takahashi passed, because people were trying to tell him, like, he's not a real fan. He was making fun of it. And he's like, it's a parody because I love this series, because this series meant so much and it became such a huge part of my life. And I retweeted his thing about that. And I just said, like, I list it as a great way to get into the series just as much as anything else, because you get the story, you get everything, but it's so much fun. It's quicker because it's abridged. It's hilarious. It's really well done, and it was a lot of just poking fun at, like, what they did with the dub in the US, like the different voices, like Joey having the Brooklyn voice and stuff like that. So it wasn't like until, because I read back in 2003 when I started reading the Shonen Jump magazine, I read some of the early stuff, like the season 0 material.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the first time I was exposed to that. And, like, you know, everyone's always like, oh man, this series started out so different. It was such like a, you know, it was like a horror series or whatever. And, like, if I'm being honest, like, that stuff was fine. But, like, the series, there's a reason why, like, once it hit Duel Monsters, he went with, like, continued to go with that. Because the Duel Monster stuff was so much more engaging, so much more entertaining. And the Duelist Kingdom, fantastic, but the Battle City arc of Yu-Gi-Oh is one of my favorite, like, tournament arcs in all of manga. It is so good, and I talked about it in the review that I made, like, a couple years ago, that you had made the thumbnail for. And
that's true. I forgot about that.
Review-Gi-Oh.
Yeah, baby.
So in that, like, I went on about how good that arc is, and, like, how suspenseful that it got. And that was really where, like, I fell in love with Joey as a character, and that's why I made my video talking about, like, why Joey is the best. Of course, that's my opinion, and, like I say, I'm gonna prove it in the title, because that's clickbait. But, like, Joey's the best. Come on, he's not using magic. He's not using money. He's just Joey freaking Wheeler, and I just, reading the entirety of the manga for the first time, I fell in love with it so heavily, and, like, I don't feel like it gets the respect that it deserves when it's spoken about in the echelon of, like, classic shonen, like 90s shonen manga. People talk about the big three, they talk about Dragon Ball Z, they talk about Yu Yu Hakusho, but not often is Yu-Gi-Oh uttered in the same sentence. And it's one of those things where, like, if you mention it, if someone's like, oh, Yu-Gi-Oh, everyone's gonna be like, oh yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh. But it's like, it doesn't roll off the tongue as easily as everything else. And I'm hoping that, due to the unfortunate tragedy, that maybe now, like, people will recall the series immediately when thinking about, maybe it's because people think about it in terms of, like, the card game and other stuff like that first.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, I really hope that it gets the recognition it deserves. And it was very eerie, but very timely, I guess. But literally the night before, like, waking up to that news, I was online, like, I was like, I'm gonna buy some, like, merch.
Yeah.
Literally the night before. I'm not even screwing around. Like, literally the night before, I was on like Right Stuff and Big Bag Toy Store and eBay and looking up all the different things. And I was like, oh, well, these, you know, the pop-up parades are pretty good quality and they're cheap, but they only have Yugi and Kaiba and there's no Joey. And so I wound up ordering the Artifacts series of figures. Awesome. And I'm still waiting on Joey to come in, but
let me highlight you for a second. There you go.
these are fantastic, and it's just so crazy that like I was looking into that, like literally picking these things out online the night before, and I go to bed like Yu-Gi-Oh on the mind.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why. I don't know what pushed me in that moment to decide that I wanted to get some of these things. And I wake up the next morning to see that he died, and I was like, "This is a sign. Like this is."
I believe it. Yeah, definitely.
So these are, they're as big as my head, and I got a pretty decent sized head.
I'd love that one. That's so dynamic.
Yeah, and the jacket comes off, but I mean, why would you want to?
Mm-hmm.
It's so cool. The spiky anime main character hair is beautiful. You can take off the dual disc for any of these, but again,
Yeah.
why would you want to? And he
No,
has the Millennium Puzzle that can come off as well. So all the different accessories on Yu-Gi-Oh, on Yugi, and they make they have this one, the Yami Yugi, but they don't have just a Yugi Muto, but they do have an Atem. Like there's an Atem that I didn't buy yet, that I'll have to in the near future. Let's see. Next up, let's look at the biggest chump in Duel Monsters, Kaiba, and this one has the big flowing jacket.
Harley's a fan and a fan of Kaiba too. Did you see his Seiyu posted a picture of the Blue Eyes White Dragon card as a tribute?
I didn't.
Yeah, I have an article here from Anime News Network with all the people paying tributes on Twitter. I'm going to share that in a bit. Pretty cool stuff.
So this one's really cool. Obviously with his white coat and stuff that he took on with Vexity. And again, he's got the dual disc here, and the cards and stuff come out of his hand. Again, you can take off the dual disc and just have the normal hand there.
Oh, you took his hand off.
Well, this is the one without the dual disc.
Oh, the alternate hand.
Yeah, you can switch it out.
Okay.
Switch out the arm for that.
Yeah, but that's not as exciting. You got to have the full setup.
Yeah. And then here's Bakura.
Oh, look at that, Warren. I got you, buddy.
Yami Bakura with the Millennium Ring here, and he's got the bandaged arm.
Super cool.
The dual disc, cards in hand. He's got a card up here ready to go. Very dynamic. And he had, of course, the very like spiky hair whenever he went into his Millennium Ring mode.
Full Psycho mode.
Yeah. And this one is super cool as well. We've got Merrick.
Nice.
And he comes with two faces. He has kind of the more normal one, but I was like, nah, we're gonna go with the full psychotic. So he's got the very feathered hair. It looks great. Flowing cape. I feel like that's something all of them have in common, is like something is flowing on them.
Mm-hmm.
Again, the dual disc, which can be taken off, the cards. He's got the Millennium Rod that you can tuck into his belt back there. These are all fantastic. And unfortunately, Joey is late for the party. He's coming from another seller on eBay, so hopefully we'll be here in the near future. Rather disappointed that he didn't show up in time, because he is my favorite character. And now, like, after the passing and after buying these, I'm like, shit, now I want to buy some of the like monsters to add with them. And like, there are some statues for the gods that are rather nice and about 3 times the price.
Is this the Joey you ordered?
I believe that is the one. Yeah, that's badass. I'm excited. I can't wait for him to come in. Yeah, right next to the... Wait, no, that's a different Yugi. So that might not be the same Joey.
Interesting. Yeah, that looks really cool. I like it.
Either way, I'm going to be getting the Yugi might have been like an earlier... because I think some of them were reissued, so they might have just changed the pose on his arm for the reissue.
Yes, they did reissues. I forgot about that.
You're right. Yeah, mine has the arm extended outward, and that one has it pulled inward, which either way, they're both really cool.
I feel like Marek should have a shirtless variant to show off that ripped bod. Hell yeah.
I mean, they do have a lot of other spicy variants to various figures and stuff that they put out.
James has the Pop-Up Parade Yami, Yugi, Kaiba, and Magician Girl. Nice. I kind of want that Dark Magician Girl. Looks really cute.
There's the three gods. There's a Blue Eyes, Dark Magician, Black Luster Soldier, Dark Magician Girl, and then Blue Eyes Ultimate. I think those are all the ones that are upcoming or are available currently for like not Pop-Up Parade, but like just general. And I don't want to get that far into it because that's going to be dropping like a wad of cash on these things. But at the same time, I'm like, the more the merrier.
Did you see the Red Eyes Black Dragon?
Why do you have to tell me about it?
I'm gonna show it. That's what I do to Jess all the time when we're on.
Get it though. I love Joey.
Red Eyes Black Dragon. Wait, wrong page. Red Eyes Black Dragon.
I love Joey so much. He's like the perfect like reader stand-in, like audience stand-in character, because he starts out like literally not knowing shit about the game, and like as the series goes forward, learns how to play, learns how to build his own deck, and like people are really unfair to him because they're like, well, he wouldn't know whatever if it wasn't for. I'm like, yeah, because he learned how to do it. Like that's the whole point of the series, is like your friends help you to succeed, and Joey is like the perfect example of this. He learned how to play, and he got to the point where like literally in the movie, he's one of the best. Jesus Christ, it looks like Ridley.
It looks a lot like Ridley. Yeah, that's true. I love this statue. This is from Mega House, so it's pricier than Kotobukiya. But eventually, I do think it'll be nice on your display next to Joey.
I might have to wait for Kotobukiya to decide to do something, because I can't like the how many dollars is it? Well, 370. So what, about like 300? Because I was in pounds. So is it
$265?
Okay, yeah, that's a lot of money, but that's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I think that's probably the same that made the Black Luster Soldier, because it looks like the kind of level of quality. But that'll also be a little weird if it's like something that's a lot more intricate looking.
Compared to the ones you showed that are a little bit more streamlined.
Yeah, they're very much more like inspired by the look of the anime, whereas that might be more like trying to realistically make a dragon based off of the character.
Yeah.
Especially given that, like, because the god cards statues are each about 2 bills, and they are significantly larger than these guys, which makes sense. They're not made by Kotobukiya though, as far as I'm aware. But each of them is like a little over 200, and those are more, accurate to the anime or the manga, as opposed to that, or like if you look up the Black Luster Soldier one, it kind of reminds me of the way that the Red Eyes is. But yeah, I love Joey, and I feel like I might one day want him to have his red eyes, but at the same time, I don't know.
Growing up, which of the god cards did you like the best? Because that was the thing. I remember that.
I feel like I was exposed first. I don't remember if it's because it appeared first, but I was first exposed to Obelisk, and I feel like that's the one that I liked the most growing up.
I like Ra, was it? The
yellow one?
The yellow one?
The chicken?
Yeah, I like that one the best.
Yeah, I think
they're all cool. I love all three, but if I were to go, this is like Pokemon all over again. If I were to choose, I'd pick the chicken.
Also, like, it's not easy to choose because Joey doesn't have one.
Good point.
So, otherwise, I'd just be like, yeah, whatever Joey has.
These figures are on Sideshow. They're like 200 each. Damn.
Are they currently available? Because everywhere else, all I could see was Slifer being available, and the others were like pre-order.
Slifer is available right now on Sideshow for $220.
Yeah.
And let's see. Egyptian god. The Winged Dragon of Ra is it is available as well. And I don't see Obelisk. What happened?
Well, because
wait, sorry, my bad. It is available too. No, sorry, pre-order. My bad. It's on pre-order.
So on Big Bad Toy Store, Slifer is the only one available, and the other two are listed as pre-order. And then on Right Stuff, Slifer is the only one available, but the other two are listed as out of stock coming soon. And these boys are fatties. Like these are like I think they're like 20 inches tall or something. At least that's what Slifer was.
It says here height 13.78 inches or 35 centimeters.
Maybe I was looking at centimeters. I don't know. There was a 20 somewhere, and I don't know where it was, but it's still big. It's still a big boy.
Yeah. So we go back. Oh.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. That Slifer might be 20 inches because his he floats and his wings are really like they give him a lot of vertical height. Slifer.
Check this out. Slifer,
no slifing.
Is 20.
Yep, yeah. I was right. Yeah, I'm not crazy. I was like, damn, Obelisk just a shorty like I am. Yeah, because his wings, because of the way that they're shaped, they go really high.
Yeah. And this guy
is probably a little taller than Obelisk, but not as tall as Slifer.
Same height, 19.69.
Oh, Obelisk should just be cheaper than.
Right, yeah.
If I order all three, they should give me a discount. If I show them my videos about Yu-Gi-Oh, they should give me a discount.
I'm the number one fan on YouTube. Damn it, give me a discount.
give me these.
Oh my gosh.
So now I'm gonna be displaying them, and I'm gonna try and find a way that I can display it to where they're like visible in my videos and not like above my head.
Yeah. Oh, they got a bunch of stuff here. Damn.
I've seen some of those. I think you sent me the Dark Magician the other day.
Oh, this one from I forgot the name. First Four Figures. I like First Four Figures. They do a good job. They do a good job, in my opinion. This is how tall is this? 12 inches. Not bad. So it's going to scale with the stuff you got.
Yeah. I was going to say it's going to be about the same size as those.
Oh my god! Explains why Kaiba is always overcompensating. His god is smaller than the others. Wasn't the god cards in Japan named completely different from the U.S. versions? I think probably
Slifer was Osiris.
Probably, yeah. Makes sense.
That's that. I was literally just thinking about that also. The Japanese is Osiris, the Heaven Dragon. And then let me see what Obelisk.
Yugioh.
Giant Divine Soldier of Obelisk.
Wow. That's a mouthful. This statue looks amazing.
I feel like Wing Dragon is probably accurate. The Son of God. No, it is okay. It is Winged Divine Dragon of Ra, but there was like other names, Japanese. The Son of God Dragon.
Wow. Damn.
I love, like, so one of my favorite things about the series, and I said this in my review, yeah, that one's too cool, but like I already have Yugi, so but one of my favorite things about the series, it's also almost $1,000, and I'm not like,
yeah,
I'd rather buy like 8 things for the same price. If I was going to spend that much, you know. But one of my favorite things about the series is like how well it suspends your disbelief. Like if you're reading it through or like watching it through, when I was reading the entire manga from front to back, it was like, you know that they're playing like Little Karibo says, a children's card game. But like you get so invested in these characters and so invested in like the battles and stuff, and you have these moments that are just so like, what is it that Yugi says? He's like, I'm going to kill God or something like that. And
Something like that. Yeah, yeah.
it's so ridiculous. And like Kaiba has I like I have to actually like find things to remember them fully, but like Kaiba has a gun at one point. Like um
That was the famous censor in the anime that they replaced the hand with the. They erased the gun from the hand, so he's just pointing at people.
the Bandit Keith did that. They had Bandit Keith with the
Yeah.
gun, but there's something that like I'm trying to find it right now with Kaiba, where like he did something dramatic. I posted it on Twitter like a week or two ago. I think Yugi says like, you know, I'm going to defeat God, and it just like in the moment, like I was reading it and I'm like, oh my god, this is awesome. Yeah, he says, I will defeat God, and it's him like posing with the dual disc and everything. I will defeat God. And like it's so cool in the moment because you're reading it and it's like, you know, he's in the duel and that's exactly what he needs to do. But like at the same time, you kind of pull yourself out and you're like, oh my god, this is so ridiculous. I love it so much. It's so great at like suspending your disbelief and then like because I would put the book down, like I'd be reading it and like, you know, heart racing, very exciting, very happy to be reading the series. And I put the book down and I'd think about it for a second and I'd be like, oh my god, this series is so ridiculous, but I love it so much. Everything is so great about it. It's great, absolutely great.
Let's see. Oh, I saw something here that I wanted to bring up to the table. I really liked GX growing up, and I remember fondly watching the episodes on Toonami when it was in the afternoons, I think. Or they did no, they took Toonami to the weekends again, and they had a block of like your afternoon shows, and one of the series was Yu-Gi-Oh GX. I really enjoyed that show a lot.
Kaiba's like super petty. The way that the Duel Academy was organized, where like Obelisk Blue was at the top, and then Raw Yellow was the middle, but the Slifer Red was the bottom class. Like, so freaking petty.
Masterclass in pettiness.
Yeah.
Is it the one where Kaiba jams a gun with a card?
I think I have it saved on my phone because why wouldn't I? But I like save things on my phone and then I delete all my shit like all the time. So I might not have it anymore, but it might be on my Twitter. But on Twitter I post a lot of stuff also. So
I still love how Kaiba built a theme park to kill Yugi.
That was like one of the
because he was losing.
One of the Chapter 0 stories, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, I watched GX. I didn't get into it though.
I don't have it. I watched parts of GX. I didn't watch the whole thing, and I never watched anything after that because after that was 5Ds, and you had like, you know, dueling on bikes.
Bikes. Yeah,
dueling on motorcycles.
I didn't get it. I'm like, why are they dueling on bikes?
I've heard it's good though. I've heard good things, and one day I'll go to it.
But it has a huge fan base.
I'm sure it does. Yeah. I think there's only one of the Yu-Gi-Oh series that is like actively disliked. I don't remember which one it is, but one of them is actively disliked.
Ice Phoenix said earlier, the Yu-Gi-Oh 5D's anime was my main entertainment as a child, so this does hurt a lot for me. Yep.
I'm looking for the Kaiba picture. I'm just going through everything.
Manuel says 5D's the best after the original. Nice.
Yeah, y'all. There's a lot of 5D's fans. I think I grew away from stuff by that point when it was coming out.
Yu-Gi-Oh GX never finished. Dub only 155 out of 180 episodes. They did upload it to Crunchyroll if anybody's interested. They have both. I think they have a bunch of the series, but the ones I like, the original and GX, they're both on there. So if you guys want to go back and revisit that, you can on Crunchyroll. Free sponsor. Sponsored ad. There you go. Zexel, is that how you say it? Zexel was bad. I don't know that one. Sorry.
Yeah, there's Zexel, Arc V or Arc 5, Brains, Sevens.
Yeah. There was you barely watched Yu-Gi-Oh! I was a Pokemon Digimon kid. Back in the day, the camp wait. If you want to kill me, you'll have to kill the cards. Nice.
Yeah, I love that.
That's so bad.
He's so dramatic. He's such a drama queen.
Back in the day, do you remember there were like it was the Pokemon camp, the Digimon camp, and then the Yu-Gi-Oh! Camp? I happen to like all three, so I didn't mind. But a lot of people were like fan. You had to be a fan of one, not all three.
It's definitely that's like the big three, but like back when we were little.
Yeah.
I was definitely more of a Pokemon because it was, you had the cards, you had the show, you had the games and stuff. Yep. And I feel like with Digimon, like I really enjoyed it, but it was mainly just the show.
Yep.
Like it had cards and it had games, but it wasn't as well known for those things. And with Yu-Gi-Oh, it was mainly the cards. And then like, because there was a lot of people who played the card game that didn't actually watch it. So I feel like that's why I was more into Pokemon. But I would say my hierarchy was Pokemon because it was the one that I was around the most. And then it was Digimon number 2 until Yu-Gi-Oh came. And then once Yu-Gi-Oh came, I think it was at a point where like Digimon had already gotten too far like along and a little more convoluted with the storyline. So I like had stopped following. And so Yu-Gi-Oh came into that second spot. And Yu-Gi-Oh had great games as well, like the card games on the Game Boy and stuff like that.
Oh, the GBA games are great. I remember playing at least 2 of them, but I don't remember the names, whatever they were. They're currently, if anybody's interested, they do have a Yu-Gi-Oh! Is it Master Duel on the Switch? You can download it for free. There is elements in there that you like microtransactions to buy stuff, I guess, but you can play the whole game for free and still enjoy it. I have it on the Switch. I just haven't gotten around to toying around with it, but I hear it's great. What else? Jane says, in a way, you could say Duel Masters was the worst Yu-Gi-Oh series. I have the Yu-Gi-Oh! Game Boy game and the Dungeon Dice Monsters one. Wow. Yu-Gi-Oh! Had the best physical game, Digimon had the best anime, and Pokemon had the best game. That is the general consensus. But they're all good in my eyes. I had the Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards. I still have a few. My favorite, and I always butcher his name, is the Magician of Black Chaos. Is that the name?
I'm pretty sure that's it.
Magician of Black Chaos. Magician of Black Chaos. Yes, that is my favorite Yu-Gi-Oh card. I loved it so much that back in the day, I had a shirt made of that card, of the design, because I love his costume and all that. And it was such a rare card back in the day. I don't know about that stuff now. A friend of mine actually found it for me and gifted that card to me, and I still have it with the summoning thingamajig that you use to summon him. So I did play the game. I like the cards. I like the show. Digimon, same. I had a lot of the cards back in the day, and I love the show so much. And Pokemon, that's my favorite gaming franchise of all time. So, yeah, I love them all. Not a bad thing to say about each. Did anyone else have that weird Yu-Gi-Oh game that was a retelling of an actual British war, but with the characters? That is, I know what you're talking about. I have the cover here. Oh, what's the name of that game? The Rose something, right?
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about.
Duelist of the Roses. Duelist of the Roses. I think that's the game we're talking about, right? Hayden, is that the one?
Rose of Versailles.
Duel of the Rose. Yeah, Duel of the Roses. There we go.
Rose of Versailles.
Yeah, from Udon.
Speaking of udon, I didn't know this until like
Yeah, let's talk about that. I was
Yeah.
going to mention it earlier. Do you have the art books for
I
that?
don't have it with me. But they've released 2 art books. One of them is specifically an art book of the cards, and it's just like from, I believe, from just the original series, the original Yu-Gi-Oh animated anime series.
Yeah.
Every card that gets used in the game, so it's about 800 cards. Um, it has the artwork and like all the stats and stuff of those cards in this nice little art book. So you get slightly blown up pictures of the art from all of the cards. It's everything that's played in the game that's also playable in the TCG, is what they do. So that's a really cool one, and I found like that one was it's available like on Right Stuff. I got it on Amazon. I just don't have it with me right now. But they have a second art book, the Art of the Duel, I think is what it's called, and it's Takahashi's artwork from the manga, like covers and stuff like that, like a legitimate art book that Udon also published. But it is so out of print and hard to find. Like even Japanese editions of that book are like $300-$400 on eBay. Yeah, I'm like, I'm not about to drop that on an art book. Are you kidding me?
No, especially because you own the original source material, if you will.
Yeah, but
You
I
have
think
the
it
manga.
has additional artwork like from later releases because he went in and like redid the covers for like I think like the Kanzenban releases, and that might be what it has in there, and it would be really cool to have, but not $400 cool. Like I'm gonna okay. I bought what's her name? Q Hayashida's art book, the Dorohedoro one.
Oh, the sludge, I think it's called.
Mud Sludge.
Yeah.
It's large. It is beautiful. I love it. It ran me $90, and that was a lot. I'm not like $90 is a lot for a freaking book, but I've like never seen it physically, and I saw it physically at a store, and so I had to have it because I love Dorohedoro. I'm not like spending 4+ times that much on something, no matter how much I love Yu-Gi-Oh, is just ridiculous.
My thing with art books is that they're great. I'm sorry, they're great, but I feel like once I look at it and I put it back on the shelf, I don't have a strong desire to ever pick up that book again. You know, at least with a manga or a comic, I can reread it and enjoy it. But with an art book, I'm like, I look at the stuff, it's great, and it just goes back into the shelf. I have a couple art books and I rarely revisit them. So that's why I never pick them up.
I think I wanted to get some of these to like kind of fill out, have some nicer things so when people visit like my library, they can go in and be like, oh, this is a really cool, like maybe rotate out some coffee table stuff. Be like, oh, this is a really cool art book. I just need to make sure that whatever I share is PG so no one judges me.
It depends. If you do a late night tour, switch out all that stuff and put not safe for work stuff on the coffee table.
I don't think I have any that are not safe for work though. Like I haven't looked at every page of the Mud Sludge, but that's the only one that like the manga itself was rated for mature audiences. But I do have an issue of Young Animal. I bought the issue where Berserk came back, and
Yeah.
Young Animal is was it gravure model magazine where they have tons of photos of women in like bikinis and underwear.
It's a guy's magazine. You know?
Yeah. So it like if someone was to pick that one up, there's going to be a certain association with it. But it's like I got it because it's got the new chapter of Berserk in there. That's all I wanted it for.
Yep. I says they should do an art book for each Yu-Gi-Oh set. You know what I'm still waiting for, and I'm sorry to deviate. Pokemon art books. Give me that, please. I know there are some, but they have for the manga, like illustrations for the anniversary. And there was another one that I can't remember the name of, but it's super expensive. But Oh, and they did do a card one, but like I don't know. I just want oversized Pokemon books to happen one day, maybe like a Pokedex.
Kaiba and Merrick can hold hands.
Oh, look at that power of friendship right there, son. Love it.
They don't even like each other, but they're friends now. They're boyfriends.
Next, Imaginaut has a question for us. A serious question. Oh boy. For when you're ready to segue from the Yu-Gi-Oh discussion. We're not, but we're going to answer it anyways. What do you think are who do you think are currently the most artistically radical mangaka, mainstream, indie, or avant-garde? We can make a whole show out of that question. So thank you, because I'm going to put it in the doc to make a stream later in the year. That's a good topic.
I think the easy answer would be, if we're talking about mainstream, would be Fujimoto. Because I mean, you look at the type of work that he does, and like especially coming back to Chainsaw Man with the first chapter of part 2, like his it's his style. He like bumps around between doing things that are like sensical and then doing things that are completely out of left field. And a lot of it's not just his art, it's like the way that he is narratively. Because like you'll have like if anyone who read the newest chapter of Chainsaw Man, for instance, like you start off with the story going in one direction, and then like it takes a hard turn.
Yeah.
Very hard turn, stylistically, both artistically and narratively. And I think that's something that like people have come to appreciate. Like that's why he's become as successful as he is because he's very successful in doing that. He's very he's good at doing that kind of thing, and people enjoy it. And it's almost like it's expected, but he still catches you off guard with it. You know, everything that he does, it's very much like he'll insert various things. He doesn't hold back. He doesn't. I feel like editorial must like really love just letting him do whatever he wants or something, because you get things from him that you wouldn't get from others. If I was going a little bit less mainstream, I would say Q Hayashida, who's currently working on Die Dark, is a really like her style is the art book Mud Sludge describes her style perfectly, which I believe that's the translation of what Dorohedoro means, is like mud sludge.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just very like grody, very gritty, grody, dirty style that like you get this great juxtaposition with her characters, who are oftentimes like goofy, silly characters within this like dark atmosphere, and it comes off very interestingly. But she's so successful in the way that she does that. I don't have a lot of indie outside of like what I see from when publishers like Glacier Bay bring stuff over. That's the only time I really see a lot of indie stuff.
I don't have avant-garde stuff, but I do like. Who the hell do I like? I really like Oshimi's artwork in the newer stuff that he's doing. Fujimoto's great too, and Paru Itagaki she's one of my favorites. But avant-garde, I I have to admit that's a subject I'm not too into when it comes to avant-garde mangaka, because there are a bunch of out there, and the smaller publishers are putting great stuff from them. But yeah, is Natsume Ono considered indie? I always love her artwork. Is it considered indie?
Natsume Ono, was it? Sorry, was that it?
Yeah,
I believe so. Yeah, I think that she has a lot of work that's published in the Ikki magazine, which is an independent manga magazine. Like Taiyo Matsumoto would also be in there.
Oh yeah, Matsumoto, freaking number 5. I love that manga. I'm just going to wait for a box set for Chainsaw Man for it to finish maybe. Well, part one's already done, so I'm sure we're gonna get a box set eventually, at some point. It's big enough of a property, even without the anime adaptation, where I'm confident in that they'll do it. We already had the Japanese box set and the German one. We'll get one. I'll probably get it too because I don't have the series. I read it through the Shonen Jump app, but I do want to own it at some point. So if they do a box set, I'll bite. Well, rip and tear. You know what's the best thing? And when we were all reading Chainsaw Man for the first time on the app, I remember telling you, Riley, the best way to read this damn manga is to read it with the Doom soundtrack from the game, with Rip and Tear playing in the background. That is how I always read new Chainsaw Man chapters. I highly recommend it. It's very therapeutic. Yeah, especially the fight scenes. Oh, they just that's something else with that music. I do want to highlight a post here about Yu-Gi-Oh, because I wanted to ask you this since you own the manga. Shoot, now I can't find it. Hold on. At this point, guys, if you haven't, hit the like button. Really helps out the good old channel with the algorithm. Support your favorite Omnibros.
And remember, the Millennium item is the Millennium puzzle is the heart of the cards. That's how he.
Was that your favorite Millennium item thingamajig?
Well, Joey didn't have one, so I didn't have a favorite. But that's the heart of the cards is complete BS. It's not an actual concept from the series. It's just how they say it for the English dub. But like when he uses
it was emblematic. Everybody remembers that.
Yeah, but when he says it, when like, believe in the heart of the cards, it's luck manipulation for the Millennium puzzle. Yeah. That's what he's literally cheating using the thing. But it's what the series is about. It's just like Kaiba using his money, and you use his magic. Joey uses Brooklyn Rage.
Yeah, baby. I would love for a better edition of the manga in terms of format, but if they announced it anytime soon, I would just feel like they're milking him. The manga is currently out of stock, out of print, right? Most of the volumes.
So I think they need to get it back into print soon anyway.
Yeah.
But one of the translators that works at Viz came out and said, like, I really hope that we'll do like the Bunkaban versions, and I can get attached to it so I can do a new translation. Like that was one of the things that he came out. So a lot of times, like, it's the actual like people working on it are fans of the series, and they want to do these things as well.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully they make it happen. That'd be great. I would love to collect it at some point. Yeah. Carly, I have a manga question. Do you think Viz would ever do a Shoujo Beat subscription like with Shonen Jump? I know it may not do as well, but Viz already has the infrastructure. The thing to keep in mind is the popularity of it. Unfortunately, I don't think the numbers are there for them to consider that at the moment. But anything's possible.
I can't say certain things. Like, I'm not supposed to say certain things. But
I don't know. I haven't heard anything, so you're good.
I'm just all I'm gonna say is that I have heard
through the grapevine
privately that there's I'm not okay. What I'm gonna say is it's not a Shoujo Beat service, but I have heard that there's possibility of upcoming services similar from other places. Yeah. That are like there's going to be a lot more of a put because okay, so you know how like if y'all saw the news a couple weeks ago or so, whenever they were saying that like Manga Plus was going to start publishing everything same day, like every series that was in those magazines were going to be starting to come out at the same day and date. there's going to be, it's like a bigger push, stuff like that, from other places. And I'm not going to say any names. I'm not going to say any whatever, but like what I've been told is that there is an expressed want to embrace something like that for more publishers. So maybe in the future, but it's not, I don't think it's going to be specifically a Shoujo Beat thing. I don't think it's going to be, but here's what I'll say. I do think that it would be really awesome if Viz did a Shoujo Beat subscription, and then they could link a bunch of different subscriptions together and be like, you can do this one for $2, you can do this one for $2, you can do this one for $2. If you do everything, all 3 subscriptions together, you get it for $5. Like you get a discounted thing, kind of like Hulu, Disney Plus, that kind of
like an a la carte mode. You can add packages. That'd be dope.
So if what I said doesn't happen, then like it is what it is. I'm just regurgitating the slight information that I've gotten. But if it does happen, there are a couple things that have been happening recently where like the person that told me about it, I'm like, okay, that makes sense. Like when I start seeing the dominoes fall into place, I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
Speaking of making sense, let me remind you guys that if you want all the cool manga, all the cool stuff, you got to head to our sponsor's website. That is instocktrades.com, your home for all things collected editions, manga, omnibus, hardcovers, trade paperbacks, absolute editions, box sets, whatever. If it's a collected edition of a graphic novel and manga, you find it at instocktrades.com, up to 50% off on weekly deals. Fantastic customer service, wonderful packaging. If you place an order of $50 or more, you get free shipping. And of course, let me remind you that at the end of every month on the last Monday, we do a gift card giveaway valued at $50. You just got to tune in to participate and in the chat and all that stuff. So be sure to tune in on it would be the 25th of July for a shot at winning a gift card valued at $50, courtesy of In Stock Trades. And right now they're running the promotion, Summer Sizzle, the IST code, 3% off. You can add it at checkout. That's up to, I think it's the 18th, right? The 18th, before midnight. You do that, you get some sweet savings on your favorite books. All of that courtesy of our wonderful sponsor, that's In Stock Trades, the official sponsor of Omnibros Live here on the Omnibus Collectors Network. Just a couple, I got 2 minutes left for you guys on this stream. If you want to shoot some questions, whatever you want, we'll try to answer them in 2 minutes. James, we did get the news from Dark Horse that Lone Wolf and Cub Omnis are getting reprinted near the end of August. That should be good news for fans of that series. That's great.
It was funny because like they specifically during Anime Expo, they mentioned the gallery edition, and they were like advertising the other editions of it.
Yeah.
And so I tweeted, I was like, hey, do y'all have any update on that? Like, I don't care, whatever. But like I'm not a big fan of Wolf and Cub, but so many people have asked about it. And I know that like it's been available to order for retailers, or it was available to order for retailers on Diamond with a date of like June 8th or something like that. And so I just said, like with a picture from Diamond, I said, like, do y'all have any update on this? Because like I've not seen any of these hit the direct market or the book market for that matter.
Yeah.
And I didn't get a response from that, but like I put it out there. But then I'm not saying it's connected or anything. But a few days later, they did come out and announce that the reprints were in fact happening. So that's really cool. And then of course, a lot of people's immediate reaction was like, cool, but can we get the series in hardcover?
Now they want the hardcovers.
Yeah. The I don't know if you had seen, but they kind of talked about why they haven't been doing a lot.
I saw that. It's a very tiny operation.
It's literally Dark Horse Manga is literally 2 guys.
Yeah,
that's it. And so they were talking at Anime Expo. Their entire panel, like whereas most panels were like announcements and licenses and stuff, the Dark Horse panel was more like talking about being in the industry, like as a publisher of manga, and they talked about how like Lone Wolf and Cub Forever was their highest selling, but then in the last couple of years, that after the hardcovers Berserk overtook it like greatly. And something that they mentioned, because they were talking about delays, the fact that like Kurosagi Corp's delivery service had been solicited and canceled and resolicited multiple times and delayed, all that kind of stuff. They expressed that the reason why that happened for so many things, why there's been so much delays and inactivity when it comes to Dark Horse's manga, is because of the fact that the company had been sold like twice in the past few years. And that causes, like, when that happens, it causes a lot of upheaval and turmoil within, like, internally. And so that basically has caused them not being able to do a lot of stuff. It's what caused a bunch of delays and that kind of stuff. And I would imagine, they didn't say this, but I just, I feel like that probably would be why they haven't done any new hardcover releases in the past couple of years. This kind of stuff is like keeping them from being able to focus on that, on producing that kind of thing.
That's true. Oh yeah, I saw that, James. They also talked about how they passed on Attack on Titan.
A lot of people were really like harsh on them about that, but because they literally said like Kodansha approached them whether they wanted to take the license or not when the series literally had like
a couple chapters. Yeah.
And there's no indication that it was going to be a success. And when you have a small operation, like 2 guys, it's like, sorry, we can't take that on right now. And so they passed on it because there was nothing saying that like, that it would be a success or it would be something that they would really want to take on. But, the thing is, like, think about it this way. If they did take it on, we probably would still be very far from seeing the final volume published in English.
Yeah.
Because of the speed of their publishing. And they also mentioned that they didn't pass on, but they forgot about the offer for the Rose of Versailles that would wind up going to Udon. Saying, and they were saying it as like an admission of like they messed up. Like basically just so much going on in the department that kind of slid by them, and they didn't realize it, like what was going on. And then later on, they were like, I don't think they have any problem with naked dudes given some of the other manga that they publish. But they saw that like Udon had picked the license up, and one of the guys said to the other guy, like, wasn't that offered to us? We could have gotten that one.
I gotta admit, whenever I hear about Lone Wolf and Cub, I always think of N-Man, because he's asked so many times on these streams about the reprints. Sad to say, he points out, I guess either people already have the content, don't care, or don't like the series. Personally, I would keep the Omnis. It's not for me. It's not a series that I'm a fan of. So I'm indifferent towards the announcement. But I'm happy for people that want to get that series. Damn, that makes sense. Gans and Astro Boy were ones where I want different versions besides those short, fat books they have available. Don't say that, because I'm collecting Gans in that format, and I'm going to be really upset when they put out the first Gans 3-in-1 hardcover, deluxe size.
You're making sacrifice for the rest of us.
I'm going to be really annoyed, and I will probably upgrade like everybody else, because I do like that series a lot. Let's see if I'm missing any questions. Oh, Lucas, when you guys start a huge series like One Piece, do you read it in arcs and take breaks, or binge read till you finish? For me, at least, I am a very slow reader, and that's something that I'm not too proud of to admit, because I could get more done if I read quicker. I just really take my time with what I'm reading, and or sometimes I'm too distracted by other things in real life, other non-YouTube stuff. But when there's a huge series like that, I do take breaks. When I finish an arc, I'll go and check something out differently, or watch an anime or whatever, and then come back to the series again, because I want the book to last.
When I started reading One Piece, I think it only had 300 chapters. So it wasn't necessarily. I mean, that's big. Like 300 chapter series is big, but it wasn't huge.
Yeah.
And I was only reading it like as it came out in the monthly Shonen Jump magazine in the U.S. So like you get like 3 chapters a month or something, and then they sped it. Or eventually, I got impatient and like I read it online, and I caught up halfway through Water 7. But it was like I was already in Alabasta, and I just read. I don't know what that would be, like 150 chapters to go through the rest of Alabasta, all of Skypiea, and then like part of Water 7. So I went through that chunk of material all at once, and then caught up and started reading it weekly, and I've been pretty much caught up with the series since then. But if I'm reading something else, like for instance, when I was reading the Yu-Gi-Oh manga, I read all the way through 37 volumes, like just in one straight go. I didn't take any breaks for anything else in between, and I think I finished it in about a week.
All gas, no brakes.
Yeah.
Now, if only they reprinted the Trigun manga in time with the new anime. That'd be pretty fun. I don't think it'll happen soon, but that'd be fun. Before we go, I wanted to show this because I talked about it earlier. Anime News Network, sorry, put out this article. Industry mourns the loss of Yu-Gi-Oh creator. And you can see here all the tweets. Kenji Tsuda, one of my favorite voice actors, posted this image. He's the voice of Kaiba in the anime, or was the voice of Kaiba. Marvel put out a really nice statement as well with their secret reverse trade. The Yu-Gi-Oh TCG account as well. And you had a bunch of creators here. The dub voices for Kaiba and Yugi, right?
I think it was for Yami Yugi.
Yami. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
Veronica Taylor as well. Lisa Ortiz, all the dub cast. Cassandra Lee Morris. So yeah, thought that was really nice.
Yeah, there was a lot.
Yeah.
It was a tough day that day.
Yeah, baby. But, life goes on. It's sad, but the best thing that you can do is remember all the
statues.
Get all the statues, get the books, get the art book. That's super expensive. Get the Egyptian god statues, and maybe get a replica of the dual disc, and just
that's what I need.
That's what you need. That's a cool prop for your display.
I wanted to get the Millennium puzzle,
the model kit.
Yeah, I want to get that, and then there's also the little the little casket thingy that you can get to put it in.
Yeah.
I want to get both of those because those aren't that expensive. Like they're like $40 each or something. So I wanted to get those. And if they made the rest of the Millennium items, that would be really neat. And if they made them all life size, so like I could pretend. And the Millennium Eye, that'd be pretty cheap because it's just an eye.
You can take out your eye and put that one in. It'd be fun.
I bet someone made like a like Contact or something or someone who's missing an eye maybe have made a replacement eye that looks like
yeah.
Because people do that with the like Sharingan and the Byakugan and stuff all the time.
So there you go. Remember all the fun stuff and all the take all those wholesome memories and keep them there. And remember that the creator loved what he's doing and entertaining everybody. And the best way to pay tribute to that is to continue enjoying that work, that sacrifice, and that piece of art that people remember fondly. That's the best advice I can give when something like that happens. That's going to be it, right? You got something else that you want to add?
No, I just had to burp, but
love it. Perfect.
I love Yu-Gi-Oh! The series meant a lot to me.
I thought you were going to say I burped and I love you, and I'm like, oh, but then you switched it and said Yu-Gi-Oh! I'm like, oh, gotcha.
I love Yu-Gi-Oh! No, I love you too, Gio, but I love Yu-Gi-Oh! I love Takahashi. He's a great creator, very influential, and the world is a little bit less bright without him in it. But we move on and celebrate the works, like you said, enjoy the works that were left behind, because that's what they put their life into. And I think that his message is one that was very positive, and it should be celebrated and continued to be passed on. And I hope that the series is one that continues to stand the test of time and continues its legacy. What is it from the Sandlot? Heroes die, but legends live forever, or whatever.
Forever. I think that's it. Yeah.
Legends never fade, or something. I don't remember exactly what it is, but
heroes get remembered, but legends never die. Follow your heart, kid, and you'll never go wrong.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be it.
Yeah.
Omnibus Collector, where can people find you on the internet when you're not hanging out with me on Thursday nights?
On my channel, where I need to make my severely late July manga buyer's guide video, it's my fault that it's late because I decided to take the weekend of my birthday off from everything, and that completely screwed my schedule up, and now I'm still trying to catch up, and like it's not going well. But I'll have it out, and I'll just pretend like it didn't happen. I'll just pretend that it was on time, and we'll just pretend that,
yeah, nobody will know. Don't worry about it.
We'll notice that it's coming out 2 weeks into the month.
Yeah, pretty good.
Off the internet, you can find me at San Diego Comic-Con in next weekend. You can find me at San Diego Comic-Con. I don't know if they're going to be not televising, but live streaming the panel. But I'm going to be on the panel with several other folks.
Nice.
Hosted by Deb Aoki of Manga Splaining. You're familiar with her podcast alongside David Brothers and Chip Zdarsky, and I forget the fourth person they have on there, but she's gonna be hosting. She invited me on, and I'm gonna be at San Diego Comic-Con chilling with everyone. I'll probably try to do some vlogs. I'll do some shopping. A couple of the girls that are going are gonna take me hunting for spicy manga with them, because I told them let's have some fun.
Hey.
I don't know anything about spicy manga, so y'all gotta.
That could be a fun video. Record that stuff and make a video out of it.
It's gonna be like the fire in his fingertips type of spice, not like the
Yeah. Not the full blown H stuff. Gotcha. Still, that'd be a fun video.
I'm excited. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. So I'm excited to talk about it and come back and share and all that stuff, and hopefully do a little bit of vlogging. It'll be my first time trying to vlog. Okay, well that's about what I've got going on, I guess. And Gio, what do you have going on?
Nothing as exciting. Just trying to put out content on my channel, my two channels. One is called A Week in Geekdom, where I talk about anime and manga. I just put out my spring season review. Sort of like quick takes on all the shows I watched, because it was a ton, and that video was exhausting to make. Super long. So if you watch it, God bless you. I love you. The other is Geekdom Gaming, where I talk about gaming stuff, and I'm currently making a Sonic related video. Yeah. I should be editing it after this and uploading it as soon as possible. So look forward to that. That's Geekdom Gaming here on YouTube. That's it. Thank you to the chat. You guys are wonderful. Love every single one of you. Thank you to everybody watching later. Leave your thoughts on Yugioh and all that fun stuff in the comment section. Love to hear back from you guys. We'll be back Monday with the previews for that week, new collected editions. Wednesday we'll be back with Media Night, and then Thursdays we do another manga episode, and maybe Friday we'll throw in that extra one that we missed. So stay tuned to that. Thank you, everybody. Thank you to my co-host. Thank you to the sponsor, of course, In Stock Trades, for making it happen. Stay safe, everybody. Blah, 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 blah. I'm tired. Stay safe, everybody. God bless. Catch you guys on the next stream.
I believe in the heart of the cards.
That is very important. Bye, everybody.